Imagine, uh, imagine a geopolitical crisis where your borders are just suddenly locked.
Right. Total embargo.
Exactly. Like a nation has this massive fleet of modern tanks, state-of-the-art fighter jets, heavily armed warships, all of it.
Yeah.
But overnight,
Yeah.
this embargo cuts off access to foreign-made microchips.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly, the targeting systems just go blind. The advanced radar systems, bricked.
Completely useless.
Right. Those multi-million-dollar tanks are now literally just useless steel boxes sitting in a garage.
It's a terrifying scenario.
It really is.
Yeah.
That's the terrifying reality of modern supply chain vulnerability. And if you're tuning in today, well, consider this your high-stakes strategic briefing.
Because we are analyzing exactly how India is trying to, wake up from that nightmare.
Yes. We're decoding a massive shift in national security, specifically the Defense Research and Development Organization, the DRDO's brand new deep technology initiative. So, okay, let's unpack this.
Well, it is a critical mission. I mean, we're looking at a fundamental pivot here.
Right.
A pivot from this legacy of chronic import reliance toward true strategic autonomy.
Which is huge.
It is. And our goal today isn't just to skim the headlines or just read off government targets to you.
No, absolutely not.
We are going to extract the hidden patterns behind this defense modernization.
Because, by the end of our time together, you won't just know what this policy is.
Right. You'll actually have a structural framework, a way to evaluate it, deconstruct its flaws, and understand exactly where the future of global security is heading.
I really love that approach because when we traditionally talk about defense, I mean, the mind immediately goes to the heavy metal.
Yeah, artillery shells, submarines.
Right, ballistic missiles, all that stuff. But this new DRDO initiative, it's targeting an entirely different battlefield.
A completely different paradigm.
We are entering the realm of quote-unquote deep tech.
Yeah.
And to build a solid foundation here, we kind of have to establish what that actually means, because tech is a word that gets thrown around a lot.
Oh, constantly.
Right. But based on the documentation we're analyzing today, deep tech is not a slick new food delivery app.
No, not at all.
It's not an e-commerce platform or, a software update for your phone.
Exactly. And that is the very first conceptual trap you have to avoid.
Okay. Lay it out for us.
So deep technology refers exclusively to innovations that are grounded in profound scientific research.
Like lab-level science.
Yes. And complex high-tech engineering breakthroughs. We aren't talking about optimizing an existing system.
Right.
We are talking about ventures that aim to solve highly complex problems by developing totally disruptive technologies.
Disruptive being the key word there.
Exactly. These are fields that require a massive amount of capital, intense laboratory research, and a very long, highly uncertain development cycle.
So to put in perspective, if a traditional tech startup is developing a slightly faster route on a GPS map.
Okay, yeah.
Deep tech is like inventing teleportation to bypass the map entirely.
That's a great analogy. It really is a completely different paradigm.
But, that brings up an immediate structural tension, and I have to push back here a little bit.
Go for it.
If deep tech inherently requires these intensive, decade-long research cycles with a really high probability of failure, doesn't that fundamentally conflict with the urgent, immediate defense needs of the armed forces? They need reliable gear right now, today.
You've hit on the exact analytical paradox at the heart of this entire policy.
Yeah.
There's absolute friction between long-term speculative R&D and immediate operational readiness.
Right, because you can't fight a war with a theory.
Exactly. But here is the government's rationale. If a nation only ever buys off-the-shelf, proven solutions to meet its immediate needs,
it remains permanently locked in a cycle of import dependency.
You got it. You're always buying yesterday's technology from someone else.
Wow. Yeah.
So the DRDO is trying to break that historical inertia. And to understand how they're doing it, we need to look at the specific domains they are targeting.
Right, the specific fields.
Yeah. If you're keeping track, there are 6 core fields anchoring this initiative.
Okay, let's hear them.
Artificial intelligence, robotics, quantum computing, biotechnology, blockchain, and advanced materials.
Okay, let me just lock those in for memory. AI, robotics, quantum computing, biotechnology, blockchain, and advanced materials.
Perfect. And the DRDO is funneling this massive ambition into 3 broad proposal categories.
Which are?
First, indigenization. Second, futuristic and disruptive technology. And third, cutting-edge technology.
Indigenization, futuristic, disruptive, and cutting edge.
Right. And what's really fascinating here is that the DRDO's own framework places massive emphasis on that second category.
The futuristic and disruptive one.
Exactly. The documentation explicitly defines these as innovations that don't just, incrementally improve a weapon system.
They completely change the game.
Yes. They significantly transform or revolutionize existing military and societal norms.
Okay, give me an example. Like, what does that actually look like?
Take quantum computing, for example.
Yeah.
It's not just a faster computer. A functional quantum computer could instantly shatter the traditional encryption methods used by literally every military on Earth.
Oh, wow. So if you have it and they don't.
You win. Period. That's what they mean by disruptive.
Yeah.
They want to introduce entirely new methods and capabilities that just do not currently exist in India, or in some cases globally.
So it's an attempt to completely leapfrog the technological generation gap rather than just playing catch up for the next 50 years.
Exactly.
That is a massive ambition. So we understand the categories and the technological targets, but ambition without capital is just philosophy.
Very true.
How is this actually being funded?
Yeah.
Because our sources detail the heavy involvement of the DRDO's Technology Development Fund, or the TDF.
Yes, the TDF is crucial here.
And the financial architecture they've set up is actually highly specific.
It is.
Like, they're initially targeting 5 deep tech projects,
Yeah.
and each project can receive funding of up to Rs 50 crore.
And we really need to examine the mechanics of that rollout because it reveals the underlying governance strategy.
Right, how they actually distribute the money.
Yeah. That Rs 50 crore is absolutely not a blank check handed to a laboratory.
I would hope not.
Right. The funding is designed to be released in 5 distinct tranches.
Okay, 5 phases.
Furthermore, the first installment is strictly capped at a maximum of 20% of the total project cost.
20%, okay.
And it is only released based on rigorous appraisals by an integrated expert team.
Which, makes perfect sense when you consider the risk profile of these things.
Exactly.
If a project has a Rs 50 crore ceiling, that initial 20% cap means the government is only risking 10 crore up front.
Right.
It's a venture capital mindset. You give them seed money to prove the concept.
Mm-hmm.
And if the advanced material shatters in the lab or the AI hallucinates uncontrollably,
The government cuts its losses early.
yeah, exactly.
This phased, milestone-based funding is a direct risk mitigation strategy.
Makes sense.
And this institutional linkage is crucial to understand. The DRDO isn't operating in a vacuum here.
Right.
They are explicitly utilizing a highly successful global blueprint for this initiative, the United States DARPA model.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency.
DARPA is practically mythological in strategic circles.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, they laid the groundwork for the modern internet, GPS, stealth technology.
Mhm.
Didn't they do mRNA vaccines too?
They did, yeah. They have an insane track record. But how DARPA functions is what the DRDO is really trying to emulate here.
Okay, how so?
DARPA isn't a traditional bureaucratic research lab with thousands of lifelong scientists just tinkering away in cubicles.
Right.
It is an agile incubator. It operates by identifying a massive national security problem and then actively funding private industries, maverick academics, and specialized startups to solve it.
So they outsource the genius, basically.
Exactly. And by adopting this model, the DRDO is signaling a massive cultural shift. They are using the Technology Development Fund to actively engage private Indian industries. Specifically, they're targeting MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises, and tech startups.
But wait. I have to challenge this strategy.
Go ahead.
I understand the venture capital appeal. I really do. But by deliberately targeting MSMEs and startups to develop critical military hardware and software for the tri-services,
Yeah.
aren't we risking the backbone of our national defense infrastructure on completely unproven corporate entities?
It's a fair question.
Like, let's be real. Startups fail all the time. They run out of money, founders leave, they pivot to making, crypto apps.
Yeah.
Is it wise to bet the nation's security on them?
It is a profound, calculated risk, but it is viewed as a necessary one to achieve, quote, strategic autonomy.
Okay, unpack that.
If we connect this to the broader picture, you really cannot view this deep tech policy in isolation. It is the engine inside the larger vehicle of Atmanirbhar Bharat, a self-reliant India.
Right, the broader governance push.
Exactly. We go back to your opening scenario about the microchip.
The brick tanks.
Right. If a geopolitical crisis cuts off access to foreign components, the traditional monolithic defense giants can't save the military if they rely on imported subsystems.
Because their supply lines are cut too.
Exactly. So by engaging agile startups across the country, the government is trying to create a decentralized indigenous ecosystem of dual-use technological power.
Okay, I see.
If one startup fails, another might succeed. It shifts the nation from merely demonstrating a technological capability.
To actually possessing structural sovereign control over its own supply chains.
Exactly.
Okay, when you frame it as building a resilient, decentralized web of innovation rather than relying on a few fragile import pipelines, it actually makes a lot of sense.
That's a structural shift.
But here's where it gets really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Because no strategic analysis is complete without a rigorous reality check.
Absolutely.
It is super easy to draft a brilliant policy on paper in a war room. It is incredibly difficult to execute it in the real world.
That's the truth.
We have to move from the ambition to the grounded reality. And our sources outline 4 major systemic hurdles that the DRDO is currently facing.
And we need to analyze why these are such massive roadblocks.
Right. So first up, project execution delays.
This is a historical vulnerability. The DRDO has a heavily documented history of significant delays in developing advanced weapon systems, radar networks, and aircraft.
Decades of delays sometimes.
Exactly. And we aren't just talking about pushing back a ribbon-cutting ceremony. These execution delays severely affect the operational readiness of the armed forces, and they cause massive cost overruns.
Right.
But when you apply this history of delays to deep tech, the danger literally multiplies.
Right, because the technological landscape in, say, AI or quantum computing, it evolves in a matter of months, not decades.
Exactly.
Like if a traditional tank takes an extra 5 years to build, it's still a tank.
It still shoots.
Right. But if an AI warfare system takes an extra 5 years to deploy, the underlying code is practically a fossil by the time it reaches the battlefield.
Precisely. Obsolescence is the absolute enemy of deep tech.
Okay, so that's hurdle 1.
That brings us to the second challenge, which the sources describe as the paradox of import dependence.
The paradox.
Yeah. See, India actually has a very substantial production and R&D base.
We do.
And yet, the defense industry still largely lacks the technological capability to independently design and manufacture major systems, critical internal parts, and advanced raw materials.
Oh, I see. So we are stuck in the assembly phase.
Exactly.
Like we can build the massive steel hull of a warship domestically, which, looks great for the cameras.
It does.
But the highly advanced radar arrays, the specialized engine propulsion systems, the targeting software, the actual brain and nervous system of the ship, that stuff still heavily relies on foreign imports.
Exactly. We are assembling, not inventing.
Oh.
That is the exact gap the Deep Tech Initiative is trying to close, but the historical inertia of that import reliance is heavy.
I imagine it's deeply entrenched.
It is, and breaking that inertia requires immense resources, which leads directly to the third and perhaps most restrictive challenge, the budgetary bottleneck.
Okay, let's talk money.
This is where you need to lock in the specific data points to understand the scale of the problem.
I've actually got the numbers from the documentation right here.
Let's hear them.
Okay, so the budget allocation for the DRDO for the financial year 2024-25 is Rs 23,855 crore.
Right.
And that is up from Rs 23,263.89 crore in the previous financial year, 2023-24.
Now, analyze that delta.
Okay, so 23,855 minus the previous. That is an increase of roughly 600 crore rupees.
Exactly. To put that in perspective, in the context of national defense and cutting-edge deep tech research, that is an incredibly modest growth. I mean, it is fundamentally misaligned with the government's strong rhetorical emphasis on rapid modernization.
I mean, exactly. Rs 600 crore increase is, what, roughly 70 million US dollars?
Just about, yeah.
A major tech company in Silicon Valley might spend that just testing a new AI language model.
In a few months.
Right, so a single Rs 50 crore grant for a quantum computing project is a great start for a startup here, but globally, nations and massive corporations are pouring tens of billions of dollars into quantum research.
This raises an incredibly important question, and honestly, it's the core vulnerability of the entire policy.
Let's hear it.
How can a nation achieve a DARPA-like revolution which inherently requires a massive financial tolerance for high-cost experimental failures?
Right, you need money to burn.
Exactly. How can you do that with such incremental, cautious budget increases?
It's a huge structural constraint.
It severely tests the viability of the initiative.
Yeah, you can see that.
And finally, the fourth challenge, amplifying that constraint, is collaboration friction.
The culture clash.
Exactly.
Hmm.
The DRDO is trying to collaborate with private industries and academia, but you are dealing with completely different organizational DNAs here.
Oh, yeah. Completely different worlds.
You have the startup world, whose motto is often, move fast and break things.
Right.
Then you have the academic research environment, which prioritizes slow, peer-reviewed publication in theory.
Very methodical.
And then you have the rigid military procurement bureaucracy, which operates on the principle that if things break, people die.
Right. Zero tolerance for error.
Exactly. So efficiently aligning these three distinct cultures into a streamlined deep tech pipeline, it is a massive administrative and cultural hurdle.
Wow. Okay, so what does this all mean? We've covered a massive amount of ground here.
We really have.
We have the foundational knowledge of the deep tech paradigm. We understand the financial mechanics and the DARPA influence, and we've analyzed the stark budgetary and cultural reality.
For hurdles, yeah.
Now, let's synthesize this. If you are listening to this to build a strategic mental framework, maybe you need to pitch this policy to a board, or write an executive brief, or, yes, answer a high-level exam question.
Which is why we're here.
Exactly. How do we structure all of this chaos into a clean, compelling argument?
Okay, let's build that strategic framework right now. Grab a pen. Imagine you only have a few minutes, the equivalent of a highly concise 150-word elevator pitch.
Okay, short and sharp.
Your structure needs to be razor sharp. You do not waste time defining what a startup is.
Right.
Your introduction must immediately frame the DRDO's initiative as a DARPA-inspired maneuver designed to secure strategic autonomy.
Hit hard and fast. The mission is strategic autonomy via a DARPA model.
Got it. Then you deploy 3 tight supporting pillars.
What are they?
Pillar 1 is the financial mechanism. Highlight the Technology Development Fund, the RS-50 core cap, and the VC-style tranches targeting agile startups.
Okay, the money.
Pillar 2 is the strategic objective. Solving the import paradox by indigenizing the critical components.
The brains of the system.
Right, to mitigate supply chain vulnerability.
Okay.
And Pillar 3 is the technological focus.
Right.
Emphasizing disruptive domains like AI and quantum computing that leapfrog legacy systems.
Financial, strategic, technological.
Exactly. Finally, your conclusion, the way ahead must address the hurdles.
Don't ignore the problems.
Right. You explicitly state that bridging the cultural friction between academia, industry, and the military is non-negotiable for this policy to actually succeed.
That is incredibly clean. I love that. But what if you are in a full war room strategy session?
Okay.
What if you need to provide a much more expansive, comprehensive evaluation? Like a 250-word deep dive.
Then you need to demonstrate multidimensional thinking.
How so?
You start by grounding the policy in its broader context, the absolute imperative to transition from import dependency to self-reliance under Atmanirbhar.
Setting the stage.
Then you dissect the policy across 3 distinct dimensions.
The financial, technological, and strategic dimensions again.
Exactly, but expanded. Under the financial dimension, you detail the milestone-based funding and the 20% initial cap that protects government capital.
Right.
Under the technological dimension, you specify all 6 deep tech fields.
AI, robotics, quantum, etc.
Yes. Under the strategic dimension, you unpack how the DARPA emulation shifts the DRDO from a traditional laboratory to an incubator.
Okay.
But the most crucial part of an expansive brief is the rigorous critique. You must dedicate significant focus to the challenges. And this is where you deploy your data anchors.
Right. This is where you cite the exact budget figures we talked about.
Exactly.
You note the FY 24-25 budget of Rs 23,855 crore, and you explicitly argue that this modest 600 crore delta is a severe bottleneck for true deep tech innovation.
You bring up the historical execution delays that risk technological obsolescence.
And then you bring it home with actionable recommendations.
Yes. And to sound like a true strategist, you need the right administrative vocabulary here.
Right. You can't just say everyone needs to work together better.
No, absolutely not. You call for institutional strengthening within the DRDO so they can effectively manage fast-paced startup ecosystems.
Institutional strengthening.
You demand robust public-private partnerships driven by the TDF.
Yeah.
You emphasize the need for rapid capacity building in highly specialized niche sectors like advanced materials.
Capacity building, check.
And you advocate for agile technology adoption frameworks so that when a startup does invent something brilliant, it doesn't get stuck in a 5-year procurement loop.
Which would defeat the whole purpose.
Exactly. conclude by affirming that solving the structural problem of import reliance isn't just about equipping the tri-services, it is the cornerstone of the nation's future geopolitical standing.
That is a bulletproof analytical framework. We've connected the what, the how, and the why, linking national security straight through to technology and governance.
We covered it all.
Now, as we prepare to close out this briefing, it is time to lock the most vital pieces into place. Let's run the final revision capsule.
Okay, here is your 30-second mental drill. If you only walk away with 5 facts today, make it these.
Number 1.
1. The policy funds 5 deep tech projects initially.
Number 2.
2. There is a Rs 50 crore funding cap per project. 3. It utilizes 5 funding tranches, with the vital first installment capped at 20% for risk mitigation.
Number 4.
4. It is an explicit integration of the U.S. DARPA incubator model.
And number 5.
And 5. The DRDO budget for FY 24-25 sits at Rs 23,855 crore, representing a highly restrictive financial bottleneck.
Okay. And if you are building an argument, here are your 5 analytical keywords to anchor your thoughts. Disruptive technologies,
Yes.
indigenization, strategic autonomy,
Very important.
dual-use applications,
Yes.
and institutional alignment.
Perfect. And here is the core overarching question to test your understanding against. Critically analyze the DRDO's shift towards deep tech and evaluate its efficacy in ensuring strategic autonomy in defense manufacturing.
Everything we unpack today is your blueprint to dismantle and answer that exact prompt.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. But before we let you go, we want to leave you with one final, broader reality to ponder. We started this briefing by talking about tanks and microchips, right?
Yeah, the traditional hardware.
Right. The desperate transition from traditional hardware to disruptive next-generation capabilities.
Which leads to a provocative, perhaps unsettling thought.
What's that?
Well, if the geopolitical conflicts of the future are going to be fought and won through quantum computing algorithms that shatter encryption, through biotechnology, and through artificial intelligence that outthinks human generals in milliseconds, rather than through traditional artillery and localized border skirmishes, is our current traditional definition of defense manufacturing already fundamentally obsolete?
Wow. Are we preparing to build better tanks for a war that will be fought entirely in the cloud?
It's a real question.
That is something to seriously mull over as you synthesize all this information. That concludes our strategic briefing for today. Remember, possessing the raw data is only the first step.
Right. Understanding the hidden patterns, the mechanisms of why these policies exist and how they interlink, that is what transforms information into true analytical power.
Keep questioning the systems around you, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.